So it's been a while since I've done a wrestling video on this channel, and I think the last video I did in regards to wrestling, or specifically WWE, was WrestleMania 31, like a few years ago. Wow, I can't believe it's been that long since I made a wrestling related topic video. Honestly, with the way things are going, I feel that the WWE in its current state isn't really worth talking about in a YouTube video. However, WWE's recent deal with Saudi Arabia is just a glorious train wreck. You know, no pun intended. I know that's Bobby Roode's catchphrase, but still, it's just such a funny train wreck. So, if you don't know, earlier this year, WWE did a pay-per-view called The Greatest Royal Rumble. It took place in Saudi Arabia. Like, why Saudi Arabia of all the places? I don't know. I mean, of course they have a fan base over there, but Saudi Arabia, it's a fucking terrible country. It's a shithole. It's a country where women all over that country are oppressed. They're forced to dress a certain way. And they don't have the same rights as women do in the United States or the UK or any other Western world, any first world country. And because of this, the WWE women cannot compete there at all. So it's a men-only pay-per-view. And because of this reason, there was a lot of controversy surrounding it. Well, guess what? Despite all that, they still made a second pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. WWE Crown Jewel, and boy, was it a disaster. Not only a public relations disaster, but it was also a booking disaster as well. So let me break down on what the whole controversy surrounding this pay-per-view is about. Well, not only the same controversy that happened previously with the women's laws over there and the fact that women could not compete, and it's also the fact that a Saudi journalist named Jamal Khashoggi, last month he was found missing, and later it was confirmed that he was killed. So, because of this controversy, even with that controversy, WWE decided to go with it. Now, I don't care if Vince McMahon wants to make money, that's his prerogative, but just seeing the baggage with this pay-per-view, it's just so funny. Another controversy that happened was the WWE Evolution Pay-per-View. Now, that was a fine pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. But a lot of rumors are saying that WWE made that pay-per-view on the same week as Crown Jewel to avoid the controversy, to like damage control and whatnot. Personally, I think the Evolution pay-per-view was necessary, because for the longest time now, the women's division was the bathroom break. The women's matches were nothing but bathroom breaks. And in recent years, WWE has been trying to legitimize the women's division with better matches, better women's wrestlers, and what have you, who are generally better in the ring, rather than just, you know, being sexy, have bra and panties, or just have boring PG women's matches like they did in the early PG era, when they had the Butterfly Divas title. I mean, I don't disagree with the fact that they did this pay-per-view on the same week as Crown Jewel, but I mean, it was necessary. That's how I feel. And because of the Crown Jewel controversy, John Cena and Daniel Bryan decided to drop out of the pay-per-view. They didn't want to associate it with the baggage that came with this pay-per-view and Saudi Arabia. It was just, they didn't want to associate themselves with something so awful. And Roman Reigns was scheduled to appear as well, but as you all know, as many of you know if are following wrestling, Roman Reigns is suffering from leukemia. I hope he gets better. I hope he recovers from it. But yeah, so John Cena's out, Daniel Bryan's out, Roman Reigns is out. So that pretty much leaves Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar as their currently active wrestlers who are actual draws. Like, yeah. But who else is gonna be there in hopes of drawing numbers? They bring in old ass wrestlers. You've got D-Generation X in their goddamn 50s versus Undertaker and Kane. And Undertaker is well over his 50s at this point. I don't think Kane's that old, but I think he can still go somewhat. But the others are just old. The others are in their fucking 50s. Or close to their 50s. I think Triple H is 49, but still, my God. You know, it's funny because back in like the Monday Night Wars, and you know, WWF was doing this whole skits with Billionaire Ted's Wrestling War Room, and they made fun of Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. You know, they were wrestling in their 40s in WCW, and WWF was promoting younger, more agile wrestlers, like out with the old, in with the new. But now, years later, they're promoting wrestlers in their 50s. That was the main event. The fucking main event was 50-year-old DX. And they're still doing the whole suck it thing and the jokes that they did years ago. It's like it's fine if you're young, but when you're that age and with family, with wife and kids, that's gotta be fucking embarrassing. Holy shit. It's like the how do you do fellow kids of wrestling. Like that's just embarrassing. Hulk Hogan was there too, but he was just the host. Now, here's something funny. When Hulk Hogan came out to do the host at the beginning of the show, he came out with "I am a real American" in fucking Saudi Arabia! Why the fuck would you come out with that theme song there? It's just so weird and so funny. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna stop laughing. Well, anyway, let's get on to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the pay-per-view itself, the matches. So let's talk about the worst booking decisions they've ever made. I'm gonna start off with the WWE Universal Championship match. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. Now, right at the beginning of the match, Baron Corbin attacks Strowman with the belt. And then for the rest of the match, Brock Lesnar just does multiple F5s. F5 and F5 and F5 until he finally pins him. Yeah, Brock Lesnar defeated Braun Strowman. Once again, Brock Lesnar is the Universal Championship. You ain't gonna see it for a very, very long time. Apart from Survivor Series, that is. But aside from that, you're not going to see that until maybe Royal Rumble. But you're definitely not going to see Lesnar until WrestleMania, regularly at least. But you're gonna have Raw without a Universal title once again. He's gonna make sporadic appearances, and wow, and lots of fans are not happy. Why the fuck do you think? Why does Vince McMahon think it's okay to make a part-timer a champion? Brock does not want to show up every week. He doesn't have to. Like, my God, what are you thinking? Why are you doing this, man? Like, WWE, Vince McMahon likes to get cucked by Lesnar. Holy shit. WWE is officially cucked. Officially. And you thought that was bad enough? Well, guess what? It gets worse. Much worse. So then you have the WWE World Cup, which is going fine. You know, you got the quarterfinals. You know, Rey Mysterio defeated Randy Orton with a roll-up, and then Orton injured him afterwards. And then The Miz defeated Jeff Hardy with a skull-crushing finale. Seth Rollins defeated Bobby Lashley with a curb stomp. Dolph Ziggler defeated Kurt Angle with a zigzag and pin. Surprisingly, though, McIntyre did not interfere, but would interfere with in a later match. And then in the semifinals, you got The Miz defeating Rey Mysterio. Rey does a 619 and a frog splash, but Miz lifts up his knees and then he pins him. So that was a good finish. That was fine. And then Dolph Ziggler defeated Seth Rollins. This one McIntyre interfered, and he grabbed Rollins from the top rope, and then Ziggler does a super kick to Rollins, and then he pins him. And then finally, the finals, the World Cup finals, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. Now things were going fine, but then all of a sudden, Miz gets injured. He gets a leg injury. Now, okay, I understand it. If the injury is legit, then I understand why he had to drop out. But the problem was the replacement. And who won the match? Who got replaced? Shane McMahon. Like, okay, yeah, you needed someone to replace at the last minute. But why would he win the match? Why? Why would you let him win the match? Why would you let a fucking McMahon win the match? Holy shit. I was hoping for Ziggler to win. At first, I thought, oh God, please don't tell me you're not going to make a McMahon win the match. I really wanted Ziggler to win the World Cup. I would have been fine with Ziggler winning the World Cup. But fuck, you had to ruin it. Shane McMahon, a McMahon, won the World Cup. Nepotism. This is fucking nepotism. Are you shitting me? Oh my God. So you got a part-timer winning the heavyweight championship on Raw again. You've got a McMahon, one of the family members, winning the World Cup, becoming the so-called best in the world. In a pay-per-view taking place in a country where women are oppressed, and in the wake of the death of a Saudi Arabian journalist. Do you see how fucking disastrous this whole thing is? Oh my God, it's so bad. Wow. It's such a fucking train wreck. But despite all this, I'm sure Vince is gonna make money. I mean, Saudi has they have a big fan base in Saudi Arabia. Let's just call it what it is. But holy shit, this is so fucking bad. And then the main event, there was DX versus Brothers of Destruction. I already talked about that a bit, but Triple H pinned Kane. He does the pedigree, and that was it. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker were just tired in on the corner of the ring. Yeah, that was the match. And then there was AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. AJ Styles won that match, and AJ Styles he did the flying forearm from the ring apron, and then he pinned Samoa Joe. So that was a fine match. And that was a good match. The Bar defeated the New Day. Sheamus did a bro kick on Big E and then pinned him, and then that's how they won the match. There was also the Nakamura versus Rusev match on the pre-show, but I didn't see that one. All I know is that Nakamura somehow pinned Rusev, somehow defeated him. And, yeah. Oh, here's another surprise. Renee Young was doing commentary. Even though, despite the women controversy, Renee Young was there. She was doing commentary, but still. And they showed her on camera. She was, I'm not sure what she was wearing, but from what I've heard, she was wearing an abaya, something that Muslim women typically wear, but minus the headscarf, so she can do commentary with a clear voice. But yeah, she was there, surprisingly. I hope she made it safely out of that country. Like, my God, because any woman who dresses casually in Saudi Arabia will be killed on sight. Like, if you don't dress how you're supposed to dress there, you are fucked. You are dead. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. All in all, WWE Crown Jewel was a complete disaster. It's shit. It's... I don't think that anything else needs to be said. Call it blood money, call it whatever you want, but it is what it is. It's just hilarious to see, and that's all I gotta say. I'm AliRx, and I'll see you on the other side.